Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing today? Howdy, howdy. My name is Dr. Matt Dorsey. I am also known as the CHOQTOR. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine, as most of y'all know, and nutrition and herb geek. I was told not to use the word nerd. I'm supposed to use the word geek instead. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, welcome. If you're a regular, welcome back. If it's your first time, then also welcome. How's everybody doing today? Happy middle of the week. I don't want to call it hump day. That's just sort of like annoying when people say that. But yeah, of course, as most of y'all know, I am the CHOQ Chief Scientific Officer and resident formulator and just, natural health nut, whatever you want to call me, I guess. Man, today I am hardcore prepping for Friday. I am knee-deep in biochemistry and science and all sorts of stuff for my Dark Side of Keto presentation on Friday. And I have never been more convinced as I am right now upon reviewing all of these studies. This is a small fraction of the studies that we're going to be discussing. Just at the very beginning of printing all the stuff out, I literally have to go buy more toner for my laser printer because I'll probably have a stack that I'm going to present to you that'll be about this high. It'll probably be like an entire ream of paper on studies that show that keto is actually not all it's cracked up to be. So yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to get super, super dorky, real geeky on Friday. How's everybody doing? Hello, Gamer Nick. Hello, Sam, Chakalala, Muhammad, Yelly. Hello, how's it going? Yelly, are you new? I don't know if I've seen your name before. And hello, Evan. Pardon me. What's up, Seraphim? How goes it? Happy birthday, Evan. That's really cool. So you are a Sagittarius then, about to go dancing. Well, definitely come hang out for a little bit, Evan, until it's time to go dancing. But yeah, happy birthday. That's awesome. Hello, Paul. Hello, Danny. How is everybody? So yeah, I am really, really deep in the research right now. Pretty much most of today I have spent combing through studies. This stuff is fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Let me do a little preview. By the way, just so y'all know, in case you don't have the link in front of you, let me just share that with you here. So this is happening Friday live at 6 o'clock on YouTube, 6 o'clock Central Time, that is. It's called The Dark Side of Keto. I wish I could get the Star Wars Emperor theme song licensed. Obviously, I probably can't, but I was able to get a licensed picture of Darth Vader for the graphic, and I went ahead and superimposed him over a whole bunch of bacon. But yes, The Dark Side of Keto, the trendiest, most popular diet on the planet right now, probably, and has ridiculous amounts of problems with it. And I just do feel like it's a public service announcement to let people know everything that is wrong with keto. So let's talk a little bit about it for a second. Let's give you guys a little preview of what we're going to go through on Friday here. Let's see here. What do we got? This is an interesting one. Check this one out. Check this one out. Here, let me just get my other screen. Calorie for calorie, dietary fat restriction results in more body fat loss than carbohydrate restriction in people with obesity. Isn't that interesting? So what did this study do? Well, this study basically, they compared people. They put two different groups of people on a diet with the same number of calories and the same amount of protein. And the only thing they changed was the ratio of carbohydrates to fats, right? So essentially what happened is, again, so let's just say you got two groups of people that are eating the same number of calories. So it has nothing to do with calories in, calories out, right? That's the typical assumption has been in a long time for nutrition that if you just reduce calories, then that, is what leads to weight loss. And of course that does work, right? But you can compare two different diets with the exact same number of calories, and you'll get greater weight loss on one diet than the other based on the ratio of carbohydrates to fats. So check this out. If you cut 840 calories of fat, and then you make that up by doing higher carbohydrates, the people in the study lost about 90 grams of body fat per day. Now, if you cut the same number of calories of carbohydrates and then increase your fat, you'll lose about 50 grams. So almost twice as much body fat loss on the low-fat, high-carbohydrate diet than on the high-fat, low-carbohydrate diet. So that's interesting, right? So that's just one study. Now check this out. Check this out. All right, where do we have it? Oh, man, got too many here. Here we go. Check this out. Obesity, energetics, body weight regulation, and the effects of diet composition. Our meta-analysis of 32 controlled feeding studies with isocaloric substitution of carbohydrate for fat found both energy expenditure and fat loss were greater with lower fat diets. So, do you guys know? Hello, Third Eye Trader. How's it going? Welcome, welcome also. Welcome anybody who's new. Hello, Kara. Hello, Mahalo. Mahalo, I've noticed you on more of these lately, so welcome. Thanks for being here. But yeah, we're nerding out here. Hopefully I'm not boring you guys too much. Just giving you a little preview of what we're going to talk about on Friday for our dark side of keto. And then, then we'll get into some other interesting stuff. Feel free to start throwing questions my way as well. And we will, we'll talk questions here in a second. So let me know what I can do for you. Throw some questions at me in the chat and we'll get to them in a sec. So, but yeah, do you guys know what a meta-analysis is? Meta-analysis is essentially what happens whenever a researcher will take a bunch of studies that are all on approximately the same topic, and then they'll group them together, and then they'll sort of, in a sense, make a super study out of them by sort of combining their results all together, right? Not a perfect system, but it is one way of sort of doing your best to group a bunch of research together and then show a larger effect with more statistical significance by adding all these studies together, right? And also just showing, because, sometimes we'll get conflicting information from studies. So it's good to look at all the studies, right? So this meta-analysis looked at 32 different controlled feeding studies. What is a controlled feeding study? It's where basically they have people and they're controlling every single calorie they're eating. They're actually typically they're in like an actual, what they call a metabolic ward. They're in a place where they're actually staying there so they can be observed 24/7, and the researchers are controlling everything they eat, right? So they've calculated the exact number of grams of fat, protein, carbohydrate, calories, everything, and what these people are eating the whole time. So in 32 studies, what they found is that in the vast majority of studies, controlling for calories, same number of calories, the low-fat, high-carbohydrate diet led to more weight loss than the high-fat, low-carb diet. That's right. And we've got a little graph here, I think, somewhere in here. Where is this? This is going to be hard for you guys to see here, but let me just show you. Here's a bunch of different studies. And here is the graph. All right, let's see here. So you can see on one side it says favors low-fat diet. So the x-axis is like weight loss, basically, how far away from the middle it is, right? And then the other side says favors low CHO, that's carbohydrate diet. As you can see, the vast majority of the studies showed better weight loss on the low-fat diet than on the low-carbohydrate diet. So low-fat means low-fat and relatively higher carb, and then low-carbohydrate means lower carbs and relatively higher fat. So has this blown your mind yet? How many of us have been programmed to think that carbs are what make you gain weight, and as soon as you cut carbs, you lose weight, right? That's just how it works. Well, I will tell you that I'm a person who lost many years ago about 50 pounds by decreasing fat and increasing carbohydrate. Now, of course, there's also such thing as quality versus not quality carbohydrates, right? So I was eating whole food carbohydrates from primarily intact plants, right? Like, fruits, vegetables, beans, etc. Right? Good carbs, not the junky ones. But yes, just to let you guys know, if you are one of the folks who believe still that the only way to lose weight is to cut carbs, just know that the science does not actually support that at all. So that's one aspect of the dark side of keto, right? Dark side just meaning that which you don't know and that which is misleading about it. Other aspects we will get more into on Friday. Another really important one is going to be, of course, the fact that it does predispose you to risk for things like heart disease. So yeah, that's the deal. That is the deal. All right. Evan says, have you ever heard of a man named Victor Schauberger? Yeah. That name sounds really familiar. Let's look that up really fast. Evan, tell us more about Victor Schauberger. I'm curious. Is he the anti-gravity propulsion inventor? Interesting. Nice. Born 1885 in Austria. Very interesting. All right. Experimenter in biomimicry, philosopher, naturalist. Okay. Very cool. So yeah, tell us more about this Schauberger character. What else we got here? Can you talk about the benefits of armor beyond healthy inflammation response? Yes, Danny, absolutely. So this guy right here, CHOQ armor, right? The main thing that this supplement is formulated for is to support a healthy immune system. So just for immune defense, basically. Of course, also it is helpful for, like you mentioned, healthy inflammation response. It also does, as you can see here, supports healthy histamine levels, as well as does support mood and focus, like most things that CHOQ makes. So yes, armor, pretty excellent for a wide variety of different things. Now, what are the ingredients that are driving that? So one of the main ingredients in there is going to be a 20x bioavailability quercetin called Quercifit, also known as, here, I'll type that in for you, Quercifit, also known as quercetin phytosome, quercetin phytosome. That is a special formulation of quercetin that has research on it that shows that it's 20 times more bioavailable than regular quercetin. So the 500 milligrams of quercifit in here is like taking 10,000 milligrams of regular quercetin. Quercetin is, we've got actually I did a blog on quercetin on CHOQ.com. You can check that out. Quercetin is fantastic for immune system and also histamine response. Has some other cool properties where it does support mitochondrial function potentially. We've also got Andrographis paniculata in there. Great herb that's used in both Chinese herbology and the Indian herbal system, the Ayurvedic system, for immune support, digestion, other things like that. We've also got astragalus, organic astragalus extract, which is one of my favorites, also heavily used in Chinese medicine for energy levels, for immune system, white blood cell function, mitochondrial energy production, all sorts of cool stuff like that. And a few others. Got some lemon balm in there, which is another really awesome one. Lemon balm does have, in addition to having some immune support properties, also is good for healthy GABA levels in the brain, has like a mild calming effect. There's not a ton of lemon balm in there, but there is some. It's kind of one of the more secondary type ingredients, so it's not going to be a chief ingredient, but yeah. So, but yeah, if you've got any other questions on armor, definitely let me know. Right now, we have the CHOQ stacks. As you guys know, we just launched with the 2 men's and the 2 women's, right? There's a regular and an ultra. But we are going to have more stacks in the future. Definitely, we're going to have an immune stack. As soon as Apex Glutathione comes back out, you can bet that we're definitely going to have a CHOQ immune support stack that has both of these guys, as well as, of course, it will have plenty of 7 Wonders in it as well, because that's another great one for healthy immune function. So yeah. Let's see. So Yelly would like to know about Action 2.0 and Shilajit. Absolutely, Yelly. Yeah, no problem. Would love to. This bad boy right here, Action 2.0. We finally got it with the new label, and that's cool. So Action 2.0, obviously it is formulated for healthy energy levels, right? Mood and focus. One of the top ingredients in there is wild-crafted rhodiola rosea. I've got, actually, let me send you some resources real quick on that here, Yelly. If you'd like to know more about the rhodiola, which is one of the chief ingredients in there, I have a YouTube video specifically on that called Rhodiola rosea, the ultimate mood support herb, ? So let me just, that one right there. So that one's on rhodiola right there. Also, let's see what else. I've got, oh yeah, that's the only video that's on an ingredient that's in action. But yeah, check that one out. That's about a 6 or 7 minute long video on rhodiola. Rhodiola is really fantastic for a number of different things. Let me just actually find the blog on rhodiola too that I can send you. Rhodiola rosea was used extensively by the Russian military, actually. The Russians a long time ago did a whole bunch of different research on different adaptogenic plants. Rhodiola is the one that they ended up using after researching a bunch to support their military, to give them more energy, reduce fatigue, things like that. And in the video, I make the point that a lot of people, when they think about herbs, a lot of Americans, they think about, you know, if you're into herbs, you're probably just some kind of ridiculous hippie, and it's all just a bunch of hippie nonsense. And I make the point in the video that there's nobody more hardcore than the Russian military, and they wouldn't use something if it didn't work, right? What's funny is, even to this day, of course, this was back in the day when they were still the Soviet Union, they're still communists. So, but even to this day, all the research they did is still secret. And so we don't actually have access to it, but there's a National Geographic article where they talk about it. It's really interesting. Yeah. Because the government took these experiments so seriously that the scientists involved have been banned from speaking of their results or publishing their findings outside the country. Many of the adaptogen tests were conducted in the 1970s by the Ministry of Defense from a sealed research facility in the frigid latitudes of Siberia, which is where the rhodiola comes from that's in action. Let's see. The USSR wanted plants that would help soldiers endure nights of frostbite and high elevations in Afghanistan. It was the rhodiola, a yellow-flowered succulent that only grows in snowbound Arctic climates with a root that smells almost like a rose when you nick it, that elicited the most promising results. Anyway, there's other cool stuff in here as well. We've got, there's an ingredient called Elevate-2P that works on mitochondrial energy production. S7 that helps support nitric oxide. There's also, of course, some methylcobalamin, which is a bioidentical form of B12, as well as grapeseed extract, which is excellent for circulation and heart, things like that. So this is also a circulatory formula in addition to supporting healthy mood and focus, because we've got stuff in there that does support nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is definitely a big deal when it comes to blood flow. By the way, incidentally, you do need nitric oxide for your immune system. I can't go into the exact details of what it does because that might get into the territory of being slightly against the rules. But let's just put it this way. It is very, very important for your immune system as well. Now, the other question you asked was about the Shilajit. And that's another one where we do have actually multiple awesome videos if you want to know about Shilajit. So our number one video that is quite popular with over 3,000 views. If you guys want to know everything there is to know about Shilajit, this is me talking to two other PhD level researchers. So it's literally, we're all doctoral level educated people about Shilajit, and all the science behind it. Is a 1 hour deep dive. So it's part of a series called Deep Dives with Dr. Dorsey. That one is awesome. If you want something that's a little bit more entry level and not quite as crazy, this is a video of me talking about it, being interviewed about for about 5 or 6 minutes. And then lastly, let me go ahead and pull up a blog on it too, if you want to check the blog out. Let's see here. We've got a couple of them on here. Actually, there's 2 different blogs. Here's one written by somebody else on Shilajit, and then I've got one as well. See if I can find it here. Where did it go? Sometimes it's hard to do this stuff while I'm talking to you guys. But anyway, there's a bunch of different stuff. Oh, hello, Senior Prepper. Nice to see you. There's a bunch of different stuff on Shilajit, and it is our top selling product. I think it's got over 500 4 or 5-star reviews, mostly 5 stars on there. Let's see if I can find this other one for you guys on Shilajit. So you've got all the resources here. Yes, this one is called An ideal adaptogen for challenging times. That's a really good one as well. And that one I did right. And so there's a variety of different active compounds in Shilajit that could support the body in different ways. Some of them, there's one that's called urolithin A in that first long video that's an hour long that I posted. We do talk about that one, and urolithin A is especially important for healthy mitochondrial function. And just FYI, when I say that, just in case some of y'all don't know, mitochondria are what they call the powerhouse of the cell, right? So they are bacteria-like organelles, like little mini organs inside of your cell. And there can be anywhere from dozens to thousands of them per cell. And ultimately, all of the energy that's created in the cell, which is called ATP, is created by the mitochondria. Now, there's also other machinery outside the mitochondria that's part of the process of converting calories into ATP, but all the final steps that are crucial all happen within the mitochondria. And so Shilajit has a great reputation. It's been used for thousands of years in India to support healthy energy levels, and that is part of how it's able to do that. Very simply put, you can think of Shilajit as being almost like a naturally occurring CoQ10 in many ways, because again, it has similar action to CoQ10 within the mitochondria. So yes, I know Senior Prepper is a big fan of CoQ10 and Shilajit. All right, let's see here. So what else we got on here? Hopefully that was a fairly thorough answer to your question there. All right. Can you tell me more? Okay. Water vortex machine, something. Lemon balm would be a good one to sell on its own. Yes, Chocolala. I do love lemon balm, and I would love to sell some lemon balm on its own. So I think at some point we're going to have to do that. I think it's a great idea. So yeah, you guys let me know if that's something you're interested in, and we'll see what I can do. What would be a good stack to take before and after a workout? Danny B, great question. Actually, what I'd recommend as a pre and post is going to be these two guys right here, Action 2.0 and Armor. Yes. So your pre-workout is going to be your Action 2.0. Your Armor is going to be your post-workout. Certainly, you can do a lot more than that, but just for two products, that would be awesome. For men, I'd also recommend doing the CHOQ Daily. That's also fantastic for energy and also testosterone. But yeah, the Armor, the reason I recommend it for post-workout is because it does support healthy inflammation response. So may help with your post-workout recovery. And then obviously Action 2.0, energy, nitric oxide, all that stuff. So that would be a great place to start. Of course, post-workout, you could also do 7 Wonders for your immune and healthy inflammation support. You could do Tomcat Pre as well. For anybody out there, male or female, who's just looking to enhance fitness and energy levels, look at our Ultra Stacks. So I'll link really fast to our CHOQ Stack page. Everybody's loving the stacks. We launched them last week for Black Friday. But yeah, check this out. The female Vitality Stack Ultra and the male Vitality Stack Ultra. Each one is 6 products and targeted toward men and women to support vitality in a lot of different ways. But if you're looking to be a more active person, get more into the gym, do more yoga or whatever it is, those are very powerful stacks. That would be an excellent place to start for sure. All right. What else we got here? Yeah. Tell me more about Victor Schauberger, Evan. He seems like an interesting fellow. Hello, Beamez. How's everything in Australia? How are you doing? Daft Boss says, what's the best supplement for memory in your opinion? Well, what I will say is, again, quick caveat, Apex Glutathione is currently off the market. It's being reformulated. We were forced to take the NAC out, but the new version will be coming out in a couple months. And Apex actually is probably our single best product for cognitive support. I do have Bacopa in here. Glutathione is inherently fantastic for the brain. I've also got, in the new one, I have a special 3x absorption ginkgo phytosome made by the same people who make the quercetin phytosome. And ginkgo is not just great for memory. Ginkgo also supports a healthy inflammation response and glutathione production in the brain. But yeah, as far as memory type stuff goes, the Apex is one of our best ones for that purpose. As far as what we currently have out, Action 2.0 would be great for cognitive support, as would Shilajit would be good options, I think, for that. And then also for men's daily, can be helpful for cognitive function as well, I think. Yeah. All right. So Chewy says, would Axe 2.0 be like the pre-workout of the CHOQ line? Yes, Chewy. Absolutely. Yes, sure is. All right. Reason I ask is because the stack has daily plus Shilajit. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. How many supplements can you take in a day? Yelly, I don't necessarily have an exact answer to that, unfortunately, because that is a highly individualized thing. It really depends on who you are, how old you are, what you have going on in your life. There is no maximum. And also supplements are so different. When you say the word supplement, you could be referring to something that is extremely gentle, like, a small capsule filled with just beet powder, which is very gentle. Or you could be referring to something that's extremely potent and has 8 different things in it and 6 capsules per serving. So unfortunately, Ellie, there is no answer to that question. There are certain questions that really the only answer is really just to kind of indicate that there isn't an answer because of the complexity inherent in the question, I guess, So sorry if I don't have a better answer for you there. I do like Starseer's answer, all of them. It's kind of funny. Mr. Babinski says, do you have a dog? No, I don't have a dog, but I do love dogs. And I'm sure that in the future, when I do have a pet, I am a dog person, and dogs are awesome. So one of these days, I probably will have a dog. We had a pretty awesome dog growing up. His name was Sammy. He was a golden retriever, and he was preternaturally intelligent. I mean, I know a lot of people say that about their pets, but this dog was insanely smart. Really just an amazing, sort of like a Zen master of a dog. Just very chill, very aware, had just like this clarity in his eyes. He was something else. Let's see here. Do you notice a big difference in work performance after taking CHOQ? Yes. Next question. But yeah, for sure. Hey, Doc, I'm taking most of the products. I've noticed that I'm no longer sore. Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, so Bimez, it does seem like maybe this is helping a little bit with post-workout recovery. That's awesome. Chocolala says lemon balm is the most expensive essential oil you can buy on Doterra. That is interesting. I do wonder if maybe with that particular one, if they just need to use more of the plant because maybe it has less oil in it, and therefore, because lemon balm, the plant itself is not that expensive. It's not like the plant is that hard to grow. But with essential oils, they're going to have to use different quantities of the raw plant material to yield a certain volume of essential oil. And so it does kind of make sense that, it would make sense if maybe there's just not that much essential oil per pound of plant and you just have to use a huge amount of it. That would be the only explanation I can think of. But also remember, essential oils in terms of their pharmacological activity are very different from plant extracts. And so you can't expect the same thing. And also, of course, as I'm sure a lot of y'all know, a lot of essential oils you cannot take internally, or if you do, you have to be very, very mindful of your dose because they're so potent that some of them can actually cause harm. So you have to be careful with that if you're using them on the inside of your body versus on the outside. Senior Prepper says, how much Apex per day? The actual dose range on Apex is 2 to 4 capsules per day. So 2 capsules once or twice per day is what's recommended for the Apex glutathione. Yes. Let's see. Chocolala says, everyone give a big like, please. Yes, absolutely. Of course. I know it's probably annoying to some of you guys, and I always sort of say it apologetically. But if you have not liked this video yet, we certainly do appreciate it. Every single one does help. We've got big plans to build the CHOQ Nation YouTube channel next year in 2022. Of course, just doing little things like reminding people to give likes and subscribe and all that stuff is a big part of that. That's just how you play the YouTube game. So thank you very much. If you haven't hit like yet, if you would like to hit like, if you're enjoying this, which if you're still watching, I hope you are, then please hit the like button. That would be awesome. Speaking of things that people like, I think it might be time to give some prizes out here. Yeah, let me open my random number generator, and I'm going to start the timer right now for 1 minute. The timer has begun. Everybody, as you guys always know, but in case you're new, this is the time when you have about 1 more minute to give me one number between 1 and 100. And then whoever is closest to the randomly generated number will win One of any CHOQ product. Yes. One of any CHOQ product. Evan says that Victor Schauberger was a master at biomimicry. Great documentary called Comprehend and Copy Nature. Fascinating. Very cool. Biomimicry is very interesting. Somebody sent me an article, kind of a terrifying article that I haven't got a chance to read fully yet, about some sort of biological nanobot invention. God, it's getting so crazy with technology here. Let me see if I can find it and I'll post it for you guys. Yeah, here we go. I haven't even read this yet, but oh, there's the timer. Let's see here. All right. So we are done. And let's see what our randomly generated number is here. It was 11. Oh, Bimez. Oh, wow, crazy. We have two people who got it right on the head. So Tanner and Bimez, we're going to have to do a showdown here. You guys are the semifinalists. You guys both got the number exactly, which is very cool. So right now, just the two guys, Tanner and Bimez from Australia. You guys both give me one more number between 1 and 100, and we'll do this one more time and see who wins. Yeah, sudden death. That's right, Seraphim. Exactly. So yes, whenever you get a chance, Tanner and Bimez, you have just anytime if you can. one more number. All right. And Seraphim is asking, does the S7 in Action 2.0 contain caffeine? It contains a very, very tiny amount, which is going to be like, I think, under 10 milligrams. I think it's even quite a bit less than that. It is almost unquantifiably small because S7 is actually only 50 milligrams is an active dose. And S7 contains a blend of several things, including, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ingredients. And so there's probably I would say most likely under 2 or 3 milligrams of caffeine in Action. So very small amount. But yeah, so Tanner was 70, Bimez was 22. Tanner, you were closer because the number was 52. So Tanner, you are the official winner of prize number 1. Congratulations, Tanner. So Tanner, email CHOQ@CHOQ.com. That's CHOQ with a Q. Just kidding. Obviously, you know that. And tell them which CHOQ product you would like. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, this ridiculous article here. World's first living robots can now reproduce, scientists say. Yeah. So what the hell? Formed from the stem cells of the African clawed frog, Xenopus laevis, from which it takes its name, xenobots, X-E-N-O-bot, are less than a millimeter wide. These tiny blobs were first unveiled in 2020 after experiments showed they could move, work together in groups, and self-heal. Scientists that developed them at the University of Vermont, let's see here, something said they have discovered an entirely new form of biological reproduction different from any animal or plant known to science. Wow. Okay. This is getting pretty interesting. Collect and compress loose stem cells together into piles, which can mature into offspring. What? And then check this out. This is going to be an entry in Stay Human episode 2, I'm sure. Robot or organism? ? Stem cells are unspecialized cells that have the ability to develop into different cell types. To make the xenobots, the researchers scraped living stem cells from frog embryos and left them to incubate. There's no manipulation of genes involved. Most people think of robots as made of metals and ceramics, but it's not so much what a robot is made from, but what it does. Wow. Well, you guys check that video out or check that article out and let me know what you think in the comments or in the chat here or in the comments, on the bottom of the video or something. Yeah, that is terrifying and fascinating, like so many other things that are happening these days, right? Okay. Okay. Yelly says what I meant was how many different supplements can you take in one day? I'm sorry. Yes, Yelly, and that's still exactly the same answer applies. It really just totally depends on the person. There is no easy answer to that question at all, unfortunately. Let's see here. Danny says, I'm chilling with my German Shepherd Shih Tzu and Great Pyrenees while watching this. Very cool. Those are cool dogs. All right. Let's see. What else we got here, everybody? Battle Royale. That's another fun term for it. Sudden death battle royale. I have to head out, but everyone have a great night. Have an awesome night, Evan. Hope you have a fun dancing and all that. And happy birthday. What are my top 3 favorite essential oils? Well, Glow 120. My default sort of scent that I use is almost like a cologne, is actually vetiver. I've been wearing vetiver for many years now. I really like it. It's got that really cool grounding, woody kind of, earthy, sort of not quite smoky, but yeah, I really like vetiver. That's probably my number 1 favorite. I also do really like sandalwood as well. And what would be number 3? I mean, I think like it's kind of played out, but honestly, lavender is great. And one of the reasons lavender is really cool is because you can actually use it, for skin stuff, in case you have like a burn or something like that. I don't know if you guys know, but it's common practice for a lot of people to keep lavender in the refrigerator in case you burn yourself while you're cooking. You can actually just put that lavender essential oil, the cold lavender, right on the wound. And there's a compound in it called linalool. Let's see if I can spell this correctly. Linalool. Is that right? Let me just double check myself. Linalool. Linalool. Yes, and it is it's called a monoterpenoid, also just known as generally speaking as a terpene. And that is, I think, one of the compounds in there that's responsible for some of its effects, where it has that relaxing effect. Interestingly enough, some of the effects of cannabis that have nothing to do with either THC or CBD have to do with the terpenes. Linalool is a terpene that is common to both lavender and cannabis. And so some of the strains that perhaps contain more of the linalool would be theoretically more relaxing. So, yeah. Top 3 recommended female chalk supplements to start the day. Wow. Well, I mean, honestly, like again, like I was saying about the stacks earlier, I would go with probably Shilajit, ashwagandha, and either Tomcat or maybe a lot of people like the Irish moss would be a great place to start. Yeah. Let's see. Chocolate. No, I cannot speak on that one, unfortunately. Let's see. What else we got? Can men use the female stack products too? Yes, Diani. The only specific product that we have that is absolutely only for one, gender is going to be the men's daily. That one we for sure formulated for men. Every other product that we have can be taken by either. And of course, women could take daily if they wanted to, but it's not necessarily what we suggest. And thus, the women's stacks are still made up of products that are not specific to women, but we do believe are good for women. So, yes. What's your opinion on getting glutathione or NAD IV drips? Yeah, Danny. So I think that's cool. I just think that it's not the best use of your money to do IV drips of nutrients, because it's just one time. And so if you're in a situation where you really need it, like, you just are really hurting and you just want a big effect all at once, sure, that's fine. But if you're talking about having a more long-term effect on your vitality or your health, IV is the absolute most horrible and worst waste of money ever. And here's why. So imagine how much one of these drips cost, $100, $150, $200, and so you're going to do that, maybe once a month, right? Now think about this. What if you actually bought some liposomal glutathione or some nice NAD liposomal, something like that, right? Or a glutathione, formula that supports it from many different ways, and you took that every day? Your overall effect on your vitality, if you spent the same amount of money, is going to be much better, because you need to be taking that stuff every single day for it to really have an impact on you overall. So just doing it once in a while is, if you need it for acute support, is great, but it's kind of a giant waste of money if you're trying to make it something that has a more lasting impact on you, in my opinion. Also, injecting things is kind of weird. Anytime you're bypassing the body's filtration mechanisms, doing that without having a real reason to, I am a little bit sketched out on, to be honest. Any kind of impurities, anything in there that's going straight into your bloodstream, it's bypassing, your liver, it's bypassing your GI tract. So, I think that injecting things, if it's not medically necessary, is sketchy, to be frank. So not the best. Also, make sure if you're getting these injections, ask the people if there's any excipients in there, right? Like, is there any kind of preservative mixed in with this glutathione or with this NAD in this injectable, right? So I've never actually done one of those personally, but I would, if I were going in to get one, I would ask, like, are you mixing any other weird stuff in here that I don't know about? Right? Because they're not going to tell you when you go to one of those places. They're not going to say, by the way, there's also polyethylene glycol in here. There probably isn't PEG in there, but I'm just saying as an example, there could be weird excipients. And when you start injecting excipients into your bloodstream, it's one thing if it's in a capsule or a liquid and again, your liver gets the first shot at it, first pass effect. It's very different when stuff goes straight in your bloodstream. You have to be way, way more careful. So again, is it actually worth it? Not so sure. But again, I would say, if you're really hurting and you need some rapid support, and you just need something to make you feel better like that, it might be a great idea. I've heard it can be awesome for that. Yeah. Somebody's asking about colloidal silver. Yes, colloidal silver can be excellent. Definitely, I do recommend find a colloidal silver that is actually more like the ionic ones. I don't really want to give brand names, but I will say that there is an ultra small particle size nano silver ionic non-colloidal form that is quite popular. That is a low parts per million, low ppms. The low ppms are nice because you can get more bang for your buck. When the particle size is really small, you don't need as many actual silver particles in there. And that allows you to also take, smaller amounts and less of a chance they might accumulate. So, yeah. All right. Let's see here. What else we got? Aswana says, need a woman's version of daily. Yes, Aswana, we absolutely should do that. And I would love to do that. Yelly is asking about the V word. And Yelly, I would love to answer that question. If we were talking one-on-one, just chilling out at a coffee shop, I would definitely talk your ear off about it because I do have some very profoundly intense opinions on that. But we are in YouTube land right now. We are in the Google AI universe, and therefore we do have to censor ourselves here in YouTube land. So, Yelly, I wish I could answer that question, but we don't even say the V word here in CHOQ Nation YouTube. Unfortunately, we cannot risk it. And so, yes, that is not something I am allowed to talk about as much as I would love to, because it is a fascinating and terrifying topic. All right. Let's see here. Okay, you know what? I think it might be time for product giveaway number 2. So I'm going to go ahead and start the timer. And 1 minute is now on the clock. So one more time, everybody, if you could give me a number between 1 and 100 and see if you can really open up that third eye and just psychically intuit the the number here. You have 45 seconds to get your number in. And Yelly, actually, yes, we did. We had an Instagram channel, you might know, that had like 84,000 followers, all organic, that we had gotten in like 2 years. And it was deleted permanently with no real explanation. But we do think that it may have had something to do with the V word. There was a certain kind of passport that I believe there were some images that we had sent that were making fun of such a thing. And I don't think that the machine liked that very much. So there you have it. So being a little bit more careful whenever we're in ultra super duper Orwellian censorship land here. And we are done. So what is the number? 99. Interesting. Okay. So whoever has the highest number wins then. What do we got? Looks like Seraphim. Did you win? Seraphim, I believe, is our winner. Yes. Excellent work, Seraphim. You win prize number 2, which is a CHOQ shirt as well as a bag of cow beans. So Seraphim, email CHOQ@CHOQ.com, and congratulations. Great job. Very cool. So one more time, I'm going to be mildly annoying here and copy and paste the link to the dark side of keto coming up this Friday. Again, got stacks and stacks of research here. This is just the very beginning. Like I said, I'm actually about to go to Office Depot right now and buy more toner because my printer is running out. I'm probably going to have, like I said, an entire reams worth of studies here for you guys. And of course, if I'm doing a video where I'm attacking the world's most popular diet, you better believe I'm going to have a lot of scientific research to back up what I'm saying. And there is an abundance of it. So of course, I'll be here tomorrow as well, doing the usual, but 2-hour special presentation on keto, 6 o'clock Central Friday. If you can't make it live for the presentation and the Q&A at the end, then certainly make sure to watch it on replay. We'll also be giving out prizes, of course, as well. Double prizes, in fact. So Fridays are always double prize day, just so you guys know. Yeah, should be super interesting. If you know any keto people who want to come heckle me, tell them to come. Of course, if they heckle too hard, I'll just throw them out. But anyway, yeah. But there will be Q&A as long as everybody's respectful. Even if you're super duper pro keto, you're welcome to come and try to stump me. Ask me questions. It's all good. And you know what? There might be some questions I don't know the answer to. It's a very complex topic. But yeah, y'all definitely come for that one. And like I said, not only is it a 2-hour in-depth presentation on keto, it's also going to be, if you just want to know more about nutritional biochemistry and how blood sugar works and how metabolism works, it's going to be like a basic kind of primer on a lot of that stuff. So it's going to be very educational in many other different ways and will enable you to better understand how insulin works and things like that. So yeah, so definitely stay tuned for that. I see Senior Prepper like that there. Yes, Diani, I wish I could talk about the V, just not in this particular format. Yes, perhaps another format one day, but not worth the risk, my friend. But yeah, you guys definitely show up on Friday for that. It's gonna be lit, as the kids say, to use a term du jour. So anyway, much love, everybody. Thanks for being here. I will see y'all tomorrow around the same time, and then of course Friday 6 o'clock Central for our live 2-hour in-depth presentation on the dark side of keto. Cue the Empire theme song from Star Wars. Obviously, I can't play it because that would get copyright infringement. But yeah, just think of it in your head. All right, much love, everybody, and see you soon. And stay human, of course.